the pace of modern life seems to be getting faster. But there's one proven way to slow down, and that's to escape to the outdoors. Join me as I explore the secret spots in the northeast where I go to relax and recharge.
That's your reward.
I'll be taking the roads less travelled.
Boom!
Joined by family.
Gotcha! Well done!
And friends.
Sarah Davies. Les Ferdinand.
You're such a good singer. I thought you'd been auto-tuned and stuff.
Rosie Ramsey?
Me mum used to fancy you. She might not know what you think you're trying to make of
As we show how getting away from it all for a couple of days
Oh, for goodness sake.
doesn't need to cost the earth.
Like something out of a Michelin restaurant, isn't it?
Yeah.
And free?
To be good for the mind,
Gets you really focused.
Come on, I want to do it.
body, and soul.
Well, talk about the universe smiling at us.
I'm really looking forward to this weekend away. Firstly, because I'm going to a place that holds precious childhood memories for me. And secondly, because tomorrow I'm going to be joined by a bit of a footballing legend who played for the best team in the world, Newcastle United. And while he's making his way up here, I'm kicking off this two-day escape with a visit to a location that never fails to fill me with joy. When I was growing up in the northeast and the family had a chance of a weekend away, 9 times out of 10 we would be heading in this direction towards my most favourite place in the world, the Northumbrian coastline. Over 40 miles of outstanding natural beauty. Strange but true, Robson Green fact machine. Northumberland has more castles than any other county in the country. You've got Warkworth Castle, you've got Alnwick, you've got Dunstable Castle, and you've got that one right there. My favourite, and to me the most impressive, Bamborough Castle. And what a majestic part of the world this is. Not only is there a castle here at Bamborough, but there's also a beach which rivals any in the Caribbean. And beautiful dunes to set up camp for the day. When we came here as a family, money troubles and work troubles weren't the main topic of conversation. We were always able to just, kick back, take your foot off the work pedal, and just chill. Mum and Dad, they worked really hard, and my dad was a miner most of his life. It was the same for Mum. She was a cleaner, and she was a shopkeeper, holding down 2 jobs, so we never went without. And because Dad worked so hard, he'd just go to the nearest place that would give him a sense of freedom. And my mum would do this a lot. Just sit here and watch the world go by, and that was enough for her. However, my dad, he would swim in the North Sea. It was cold, man. And I have this everlasting image of my father, God rest his soul. He'd come here in all weathers, strip off down to his red trunks, and him and his mates would just swim all the way from Bamborough down to sea houses. I kid you not. They'd swim miles. And that's what this place does for me. I always feel free. I can always be myself. When you come to a place like this, and there's so much to do, you can always be in the present. The castle has been overlooking this windswept beach for over 1,400 years.
And the medieval village is just a half-mile stroll away.
Yes, I'd like a large one. Yeah, it's just for one person. Yeah. And I don't want any extras. Yeah, as soon as you can. Thanks. Hey. Right. Just ordered a delivery. Now, for most people, that's a pizza or a fridge. And for the lucky few, could be flowers. But not today, because I am transferring from 4 wheels to 2. And it's being delivered right here.
With so many breathtaking stretches of coastline to discover, 2 local friends, Martin and Tristan, have started a bike hire company. If you're staying around here, not only do they bring the bike right to your door, they also collect it from you at the end of your ride.
Blimey, that was quick.
Indeed.
All right, lads.
Certainly.
Robson. Tristan, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Martin, pleasure to meet you. So, lads, this is not your run-of-the-mill bike, is it? This is an electric bike, or e-bike, yeah?
Certainly is, yeah.
And what sets this apart from ordinary bicycles?
The main thing is the additional power it gives you. So, suitable for all abilities. Just jump on, you can set it to your own personal preference, and away you go.
So, am I right in thinking these bikes are not only good, you know, for exercise, but they're good for the environment as well?
Absolutely, 0 emissions, so you can cruise the coast and enjoy Northumberland how it should be, with the wind in your face.
Well, this is sounding right up my street. I can't wait to get going.
So this will get me to sea houses, will it?
Absolutely, yeah. Get you sea houses and back probably numerous times.
And then when I get to sea houses, you'll be waiting for me?
Absolutely, yeah.
Amazing.
With open arms.
I've always wanted to ride the Coast and Castle cycle route. It stretches from Newcastle to Edinburgh, and nearly half of it runs through Northumberland's idyllic landscape.
Another first of many on this weekend adventure away.
And today, I'm going to be doing a 4-mile stretch south from Bamborough Castle to the fishing port of Sea Houses. The very same place my dad loved to head to on his wild swims.
I mean, this is great in 2 respects. You know, I'm getting exercise, good for the mind, the body and the soul, and it's also good for the environment. 0 carbon emissions, and no pressure on me joints. And if you want a bit of extra power, you just pedal faster, and the bike knows you want to go faster. But anyway, when you're in a place like this, on one of the most beautiful coastlines in the world, you just want to take your time. It really is lovely.
And, just as promised, after my 20-minute cycle along the coast, Martin and Tristan are waiting for me at the harbour in Sea Houses.
Well, that journey
Robson.
was over way too soon.
Oh, how was it?
The only way to travel, man.
Oh, great.
E-bikes are certainly the way forward, eh?
Yes,
Especially
as I
someone
say.
of my age.
I know, you don't have to exert yourself too much and you get to take all the beautiful views in.
Yeah, it's beautiful. You guys have got a great setup here, and all the best for the future.
Fab, well, thank you very
Yeah,
much.
fantastic.
Good night to you.
Excellent, thank you.
Lovely to meet you,
And a
man.
fond farewell,
Lovely
yeah.
to meet you.
Take
See you
care,
some
enjoy
sunny
the
day.
Back on 4 wheels, and I'm off to find my accommodation for the night. It's not far, and I've heard it mixes the great outdoors with more than a touch of luxury, so I can't wait to check it out.
How we doing?
Campbell Rogerson, I presume.
Yeah, Robson, nice to meet you.
Good
you
to
well?
see you, man. Yeah.
Thanks for coming, thanks for joining us here.
Mate, it's a privilege.
Like lots of people recently, after lockdown, Campbell Rogerson reevaluated things and decided he didn't want to commute into the city anymore for work. He set up Bamborough Under Canvas, just a mile or so from the village, to spend more time with his family.
I've been coming here since I was this high every weekend to Bamborough. How long has this place been here? I've never come across it.
Yeah, we've done a little pop-up last year for 6 weeks. It was a success, so we've done planning and we opened the 1st of June, so fairly new. We've got 5 tents out at the moment. We're full tonight as well, so you've got some guests in. But
Oh, great. Which one's mine?
this one
This
here?
one here?
Yeah,
Great.
so I'll show you in and give you a look around. Inside, you've got a wood burner stove, so if it gets a little bit chilly, you can get that going. Towels, eye mask, it's still bright, it's 5 in the morning.
I love it.
A little welcome drink from ourselves. Gas stove and some gas if you want a quick cup of tea. All your utensils. And I've also got your meat pack that you ordered in the fridge from the butchers.
I guess a lot of people come here for that.
That is
And
the
you.
reason we chose this field, yes.
This campsite enjoys almost 360 degrees of uninterrupted rural views. What is it they say about location, location, location?
Let me just get me bearings.
Yeah.
So, is this Cheviot?
So Cheviot to the right, hedge up to the left, due west, which normally we get some fantastic sunsets as well. And then obviously the coastline up into Scotland that way.
Mate, I've stayed in some serious hotels in Northumberland, but this is 5-star to me. I
Yeah.
mean, what hotel is going to actually give you that?
Well, that's it, yeah.
Are you finding more people are coming to places like this just to get away from everything?
Just switching
So
off. We
just
get a
want
lot
to
of
sign.
people, even just from Newcastle, living the city life.
yeah.
We're far enough away from them to be completely different, but close enough and accessible for them to just up and down and for a couple of nights stays. So we want it to be a destination where you spend time, not just where you lay your head.
Do you want to show me around? This
Yeah,
beautiful
absolutely.
location.
No problem.
Oh, listen, I totally get why my dad spent his last years here. He had a lovely caravan in Wareham Mill, and he would look out onto the ocean of Bamborough
Beautiful.
Beach.
Yeah, it's a beautiful location. There's no Wi-Fi, there's nothing like that. We provide battery packs if people need it, but we want people to just come get away from it all.
Yeah.
Get the fire on, get a book out. What more do you need?
Exactly. Well, I don't know about you, but my stomach thinks my throat's been cut.
Yes, so
What's for dinner?
barbecue should be ready.
Yeah,
We'll
what's on the menu? What delights have you got in that meat box?
There'll be some Bamborough bangers, obviously, and some other surprises for you.
After a day exercising in the fresh air, some locally sourced sausages are just the ticket. All I need now is some peace and quiet, without a film crew, to enjoy them.
What part of dining for one, surrounded by solitude, are you lot not getting? That's a wrap. See you in the morning. Cut.
It's day 2, and after a lovely deep sleep under canvas, I've travelled a few minutes back to Bamborough Beach to see the sunrise. You know, being here makes me think my dad had it right all those years ago. He spent so much time underground that swimming in this cold sea was his escape. I realise now, this is how my dad looked after his own mental health. And I know today of all days, he'll be with me in spirit. Because not only am I heading back down to sea houses, which he loved, but I'm also going to meet one of his and my all-time footballing heroes. Les Ferdinand MBE became a superstar around here when he played for the Magpies in the 1990s. Now, he's in the world of football management and commentary. So I'm hoping this visit will give him a chance to switch off and experience different parts of the Northeast he missed out on when he was a busy footballer.
There he is. Mate, Les Ferdinand, how are you, buddy?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Yeah, I'm really
Good
well.
to see you.
Really well.
Welcome to the Kingdom of Northumberland.
Thank you.
Beautiful, eh?
Kingdom of Northumberland.
Yeah. You ever been along the Northumbrian coastline?
Unfortunately not. Driving in here this morning, I think I've missed out on quite a lot in my life.
Let me show you around. Come on. It's a lovely part of the world. You'll love it.
Les lived in Newcastle when he was a striker here between 1995 and 1997. He scored so many goals, he became known as Sir Les on Tyneside.
You were under so much pressure when you played for Newcastle, I'm sure, and there was so much, you know, dependence on you to do well. Did you ever find the time to switch off, Les?
It was really interesting because it was home to the training ground to the stadium. The only way I switched off was, you know, I learned how to play the saxophone while I was here. I learned how to ride a motorbike. That was the only things I did to get away. Never ever come to anywhere like this to say, let me get away from it all and switch off. It was constant.
Well, it may be nearly 3 decades later, but I'm really glad I'm getting to show Les this coastline. And before we leave Sea Houses for our next activity, there's a local delicacy I definitely think he should try.
Right, come on. Sample the delicious delights of Sea Houses. Patrick, how are you?
How are you doing? You all right?
Yeah, good to see you. This is Les.
Patrick,
How are you doing? You all
oh,
right?
yeah, nice to
I'm
meet
giving
you.
him a tour and taste of the northeast. Now, Patrick, is it true this is one of the oldest kipper smoking houses in the UK?
Yeah. Started smoking in 1843. Well, it was done by accident. There was like salted sheds with the herring in, and they went on fire. They thought, oh, they tasted quite good, but it's too salty. So they thought about splitting the fish and brining it instead of the dry salt and hanging it above the fire to get the colour and the taste.
Do you fancy a kipper?
I was looking more at the lobster, but like.
Oh, okay.
But now you've spoken about the kippers, I will try the kipper.
Try kipper?
Yeah. Just a pair of them. So when you were up here, I mean, diet, was it a big thing?
I used to eat meat back then. I don't eat meat now. I'm a fish eater. But back in the day, diet was a bit of alcohol and stuff like that, more than food, to be honest. When the boys took me out.
So what sort of fish were you eating? Do you like the sea bass and stuff?
I'm a big sea bass fan. I do like Dover sole, and I do like a bit of halibut as well. So
2 sea bass would be lovely. As a memory of this amazing adventure you're on. Honestly, this would be worth waiting for. Thanks, Patrick.
cheers, Pat. Thank you.
Strolling around Sea Houses with Les has been such a relaxing way to spend an afternoon. But now, it's time to head to our next destination and to take things to another level.
So what I was going to ask you, in the modern game, I know it revolves around match fitness and physical fitness. Do you think mental health and mental fitness has become more important as well?
Oh yeah, certainly has over the years, and in the period that I played, any players that were showing any sign of weakness mentally, it was like, come pull yourself together, it's a man's game, it's this, that and the other. And I think over the years now, we're starting to realise that mental health is a major part of life, right? And so we do lots of work in terms of trying to help our players. They're now realising that the mind has to be in the right place to be able to produce your best as well.
I think being settled mentally and physically, it's a feeling. I don't get that feeling in busy places. But when I immerse myself in the northeastern countryside, everything's good. Everything's well in the world, you know what I mean?
You know what, I live quite isolated where I live now, because I like that quietness, I like that peace. You know, I grew up on a council estate, so now I have that peace and quiet, and I really like it.
Yeah. We're off to Beadnell now.
Okay.
Now, I sent you a picture, didn't I?
Yeah, you
about
did.
what we're about to embark on.
And that's, I've got to be honest, that's what brought me here. The picture that you sent me.
I think you're looking at the Indian Ocean there. We're going out,
Hold on,
we're going out in the North Sea, mate.
That's what you sent me, okay?
We're going out in the North Sea, where Iceland is just up the road.
You know, when it came through, I did think to myself, I've never seen that part of Northumberland or the North East. I need to know where that is.
On a day like today, I think you might be pleasantly surprised, seriously.
Okay.
If you've not been along this part of the Northumbrian coast, I think you're in for a beautiful surprise.
I'm sure I will be pleasantly surprised.
Beadnell Bay is 3 miles south of Sea Houses, and with its protected waters, it's a magnet for surfers, sailors, and scuba divers. But today, I'm introducing Les to another water sport, one that has its roots in Hawaii, but has taken off big style in the Northeast.
Do you like to step outside your comfort zone now and then, Les?
Every now and again, but I haven't done it for a long time.
Uh-huh. Can you swim?
I can swim, yeah.
Ever swam in the North Sea?
I've never ever been in the North Sea.
Nice knowing you, Les.
Not quite the picture you sent to me, is it?
Yes, we may have lured Les here under slightly false pretenses, but I'm hoping when he meets our championship level instructor Kev and his son Johnny, who run KA Adventures, he'll get on board with the whole idea.
Johnny,
good to meet you.
how are you?
Robson.
Boys,
Hey, Robson.
Kev, good to see you again, man.
Johnny?
Les, how's it going?
Nice to see you. How you going?
Les Ferdinand's in
Sir Les. Welcome to Beadnell, Sir Les.
Thank you. Been
Question.
waiting a long time for this.
Are we all shrinking, or is that the biggest paddleboard you've ever seen?
This is what you call a mega surf. This is pretty much the biggest paddleboard you could buy. So this is basically what we're going to use to start with.
Why is it so big?
Because all four of us are going to learn to paddle on the mega surf together. So when we do eventually go to single boards, we sort of know what we're doing.
So is this something everyone can do, Kev?
Oh, for sure. The good thing about the mega board is it keeps good group control. So if we put you out on your individual boards, at the moment we've got a little bit of breeze. This board's fantastic just to kind of get you on, have a bit of fun, teach you to paddle, keep you in control, and then hopefully, if you do well enough, you two, we're going to progress into these individual boards.
Oh, really?
That's the idea.
Have you paddleboarded before?
I've never played a board before, but I'm willing to learn.
If there's one piece of advice you could give me and Les, what would it be? I don't like the pause.
I think on a day like today, we've got a little bit of wind, right? Not going to beat around the bush. We're just going to have to paddle. We're going to have to paddle really hard, all right? We're not going to let the wind defeat us today. But most of all, we're just going to go have some fun, go get wet.
Conditions may be a bit more breezy than the tropics. But with Kev and Johnny's safety precautions and expertise,
You want to tighten up so that like you can still breathe?
and the latest kit we're using,
Make sure when you're holding your paddle, it's nice and vertical like this.
this is a sport that even beginners can enjoy. Here's hoping anyway.
Right, if we grab a hand on either corner. Cool. Right, here we go.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Just be careful of your step, it's a bit rocky.
If all four of us are to stand up on the same board at the same time,
13 degrees, Les.
we'll need to work together in harmony.
All right, you guys can jump on at the front.
From now on, I don't want to speak to you.
And engage those muscles which might not have been used for
Here we go.
quite some time.
Paddle, and paddle, and paddle. Nice
Use your
one.
shoulders and core.
There, that's a good paddle technique you got right there.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. I love Les. Who do you love?
Smoking, guys.
We're gonna go for a turnaround, so I'll tell you what, me and Les, we're gonna go paddle backwards. Robson and Kev, you go forwards. Here we go, let's get this thing turning.
Oh, you guys are awesome.
I think it's safe to say Les and I are rocking the sport of kneeling down, but now it's time to raise the stakes.
Now guys, once we get to your feet, quite quickly, we're gonna start paddling. So I'll call out when we paddle. Tell you what, you two at the same time, paddles in front of you. Are you ready to stand up?
1, 2, 3. This is up. So Robson's up.
Amazing, right guys, on the count.
Hold on there, guys.
What were they saying about better control on the mega surf?
To get your chest up.
Get your legs that.
There you
that
go.
way.
Nice one.
Maybe this isn't going to be quite as easy as it looks.
There you go.
Oh, Les, up you get, up you pop.
Should we try that again?
Your feet.
Stop. There you go. Go on, Les.
Here comes Les.
Hang on a minute. Look, get your paddle in the water.
Right, I'm starting to understand how those defenders must have felt. You don't come off well when you jostle for position with Les Ferdinand.
I knew you was the weak link. I knew it was you. I think you guys have just about got it nailed. I do. I think you nearly got it. 1, 2, 3. Right, well done, guys. One more go.
One more go.
Yeah.
Look at the horizon.
Here comes Robson.
Hang on, let me get up.
Let's paddle on.
Let me get up.
If we don't manage it this time, I can see us both getting the red card. So let's concentrate, Les. Third time lucky.
Paddle. And paddle. Here we go.
Right, 1.
Shut your right.
Right, forward.
Well, we've scored a hat-trick when it comes to falling off. But let's see if we fare any better on our own.
There you go. So on your left-hand side, because the wind's going to push you this way.
This is taking everything my arms, back and shoulders have to offer, not to mention the strain on my little legs and my collapsing core.
Your body is like a giant sail. Sort of blows you around all over the place. So in the wind on a paddleboard, you've got to be really strong.
A little bit further upwind if we can. You get close to Les and we'll all stand up together.
We're in deep enough water here.
Yep. You want to be a little bit further forward, Les, with your feet. Like that. Yeah. Not quite like that.
That was a good fall.
Off again. Robson's up though.
It might be a bit wobbly on here, but the views from a paddleboard are a real feast for the eyes. As is seeing my footballing hero speed to shore on his knees.
I promised you immersive experience, didn't I? You certainly got one, didn't you, Les? You need to work on your core strength.
Yeah, to be fair, when we started off, I thought you was the weakest link because I thought you was unbalancing the board a little bit. But then when I went out on the single board, I realised that I might be the problem.
Something about this place, isn't there? My father loved this area, God rest his soul. He died a while back, and he loved coming here, but one of his favourite times ever was going to St James's Park to watch you and that team. It was the happiest he ever was, I promise you, Les. He loved it. And I've loved today, mate. Thanks ever so much. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you for bringing me to a place where your father loved and you love, and I'm glad I've been able to enjoy it as well. Thanks,
you. Les. It's been awesome, mate. It's been awesome.
Mate.
Les Ferdinand!
But you need to work on your core, Les.
All right,
you need
no
to
problem.
work.
All right, Nick, don't keep going on about it. You told me once.